Alright, hello everybody, it's Andrew here with our first full forecast discussion video in a long time. Here we are. This is the extended outlook for the Weather Prediction Center. So here we go. This is for days 8 through 14, so this is a week to 2 weeks out, and this is where we're really going to be monitoring a system that's going to really start to develop out here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to swing its way down, bringing heavy snow and high winds to the western kind of United States area. And then as it moves over here, we will probably see some sort of severe weather event in this general region as it moves away. Somewhere in here, just exact locations are a question mark, and a strong low pressure will probably develop in the Central Plains alongside this system, which will bring some sort of winter weather system probably in here, maybe a little bit more areas. We'll have to see, but overall, a complex forecast. We're expecting heavy precipitation along the Gulf Coast and really the coast all the way up into Maine, so the Atlantic coast as well, over the next week to 2 weeks. Here's a look at the GFS with this system, and why don't we watch as it kind of moves in. So right now, pretty quiet weather pattern over the United States, not too much happening. We can see our first system is going to move in middle of next week, which will bring some snow out to kind of the southern United States region there, and then might bring a weak storm event into the Texas area. Looking at forecast soundings, instability should be pretty weak, so hail will probably be the main threat, as it'll be more elevated thunderstorms. Probably we'll see some sort of weaker winter weather event as well. Excuse me, was not expecting that. Again, the Gulf Coast seems rather moistureless, so probably we'll see some sort of snow event. Might see a Florida severe weather event, a classic in an El Nino pattern. You'll probably have enough moisture to kind of move up here and create that. Oh my gosh, why don't I just stop it here and look at the dew points? And yeah, if this solution would happen, you would have that low pressure system near Atlanta, Georgia, and a pretty strong moisture pull into the Florida coastline, so there probably would be a severe weather risk on Saturday, and if that happened, looking into environmental data, looks like it's all saturated, so at least what the GFS wants to show is that the environment will be all saturated, which is a fair possibility. Why don't we look at temperatures at the middle levels? Looks like the system will be drawing in some hot air from central Mexico, north central Mexico, which could really help stabilize the upper level temperatures, or not the upper level, the mid level temperatures, which would help kind of negate the severe weather risk with that system. Sunday next week, here's the bigger system that we're talking about. Pretty big winter storm expected for the western United States if this holds, and then here we are Monday, and this is when the storm system really starts to strengthen. We got dual low pressures. This will help kind of bring out a large warm sector. Mainly gonna be more stronger storms probably on the southern half of this warm sector in here, because further north we're probably not gonna have the moisture pull. GFS shows the warm front being all the way up here, but then kind of a secondary front kind of right in here, which will kind of negate the moisture pull. Within that warm sector, though, that the GFS does showcase, we have an environment that would be favorable for severe weather. Using box soundings here, we can see that there is some instability here. And we do have a strong shear profile indicated by a long hodograph with a lot of turning in the lower levels, so any hazard of severe weather would be possible. Looking at the 500 millibar, we can see we have a large, I believe this is a large long wave trough with, that looks like be ejecting northeastward here. You see a closed low at 500 millibar there, and then a rather strong kind of punch right here. We can see the system is rather divergent as well. Let me switch to a different color so you can see the divergence. which will probably create lots of lift and large-scale ascent with this high vorticity-esque system. So if we did have more moisture, this would be a pretty big kind of severe weather event for areas like Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. But it looks like most of those areas will be spared. It'll probably only be really southern Texas, kind of in this general region, that'll even have a chance at seeing severe weather, most likely because of how far south the moisture will be. Strong low-level winds are going to be there as well, which will kind of help kickstart things as well. And then to the next day, we can see the system starts to shear out a little bit more, and another system actually comes in behind it that the GFS showcases, although this is probably going to be more of a polar plunge. As you can see, our dew points are already starting to kind of get confined out here, and we can see that this is really just going to bring in colder air if that does happen. And that's exactly what that system does. The GFS brings in very cold temperatures across a lot of the northern and central United States with that look. Maybe some snowstorms further south of that look would be possible, or would actually turn out. Here we go, we're now going to look at ensembles, and mainly kind of look at what we got. So we have a very strong trough on the Euro, long wave here, with very strong flow, mean flow of 70 knots even in some areas here. Looking at 850 millibar, we can see a pretty strong low-level jet is forecasted with this, and then we have ensemble members with really, this is the big thing here. There is a lot of variety in where our low pressure is going to be, anywhere from Mexico into the upper Midwest, and really a large area, which is why the system is so uncertain. We can also see the temperatures are also extremely uncertain as well. Some areas could, the Euro ensemble members have some areas being around 28 degrees. Like Oklahoma, it has Oklahoma City with the lowest value of 28 and the mean value, or in the upper value of 52, with the mean / median into the 30s. In the Gulf Coast, it's a lot more certain that we're probably going to have more moist area over there with dew points into the 60s, probably, or low or upper 50s. And then the next day we can see it's a lot more uncertain. Some of the members want it to be a little bit of a slower system. Others want it to be quicker. We'll have to see. And the GEFS is very similar. Why don't we look at ensemble? Let's just look at the ensemble precip type here. And we can see it's pretty uncertain, especially if the first system here might even bring a little bit of a snowstorm too into the Midwest or portions of the South. And that next system there, it's a lot more uncertain where it would really set up, whether it be a big snowstorm for the Midwest or the northern United States. It's just uncertain. Looking into the ensemble's supercell composite numbers here, let's go back a few frames. So with that first system, we're probably not going to see a severe weather event. If we do, it's going to be extremely coastal and probably not very strong. And we'll go look at it for the Florida day as well. For that Florida setup, pretty much the same thing. Doesn't look that good, which we saw in the GFS. And then for the next setup here, it's pretty uncertain. Some of the ensembles want a little bit more moisture drawn up further to the north and want a bigger event to happen, which would be very, very interesting. And then other models want a slower system with a pretty big event as well. The second day, though, into Wednesday, doesn't look very promising for severe weather chances at all. Maybe Thursday if we have a slower system. It's really uncertain, but it looks like this system will probably bring a severe weather chance somewhere over the next few days. Or really any of these systems could, because there's going to be lots of systems kind of moving in from the south. So look at ensembles here. Over the southern Great Plains, and just look at the amount of systems that come through. Back her up. This is system number 1, system number 2, system number 3, possibly system number 4, maybe system number 5 right here. So we have 5 possible systems over the next few days, which is really going to complicate things. Overall though, kind of looking at our ensemble mean snow, our ensemble snow accumulations here. Why don't we look at that before we end this video here? It's really uncertain where this possible snowstorm could end up. It could end up in the Ohio River Valley, could end up in the Mississippi River Valley, could end up in the Great Lakes, could end up further north. We really don't know at this point. Looking in the contiguous United States, some of them want to bring a southern snowstorm. So we're just not going to know a lot of details. So this system is rather uncertain, but I will probably keep you updated. I'm also still working on my 2023 video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.